Emerging Life and Money Show, the live show and podcast dedicated to helping professional women achieve financial wellness by merging the emotional and practical side of money. This month, I am running a special 5-part series in commemoration of Women's International Month. So in today's episode, part 2, I will be exploring the treasures of intergenerational wisdom while celebrating and honoring the oral stories of our foremothers. As women, we carry the stories of our mothers, our grandmothers, and ancestors with us. These are stories of struggle, strength, and success, and they are more than just memories. They are treasures that can help us in our own lives and change how we see the world. Welcome to the Merging Life and Money Show. Before I get into it, let me introduce myself. So for those of you who do not know me, I am your host, Marie-Jo César, who happens to be a money coach and financial wellness strategist. So make sure to tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for a live broadcast with yours truly. I am here to give you the tools and techniques and inspiration, motivation you need to achieve financial wellness and live your life with means and meaning. So thank you for joining in today. So grab a beverage of your choice, get comfortable. You may also want to grab a pen and a notebook to take some notes, as you might want to share them and talk about them with family members, your neighbors, your coworkers, your friends, and more. So if you are listening on iTunes and Spotify and Google Podcasts and iHeartRadio or any other major podcast platform, I welcome you. I am so glad that you joined in today. So let's get going. In this episode, I will explore how we can honor these treasures and pass them down to future generations. And I will discuss how we can use this knowledge to make better financial decisions and live more fulfilling lives. Now, as you may know by now from listening to my show, financial wellness is about more than just numbers. It's about understanding ourselves and our place in the world. So by celebrating the stories of the women who came before us, we can gain a deeper understanding of our own identities and chart a course for a brighter future. So today I will focus on the following points. The power of women's oral histories, the connection between intergenerational wisdom and financial wellness, and understanding ourselves and charting a course for the future. Well, we all have a story to tell, but women in particular have a unique power in their oral histories. Women have been the keepers of oral history for centuries, passing down knowledge, stories, and tradition from one generation to the next. These stories hold a tremendous amount of value, not just for our personal growth, but also for our financial wellness. However, while stepping into the future, do not forget to look back, because our family's financial stories can help us gain a better grasp on how we want our own lives and finances to be shaped. And as I said a few moments ago, financial wellness is not just about understanding the numbers. It is more than that. It's about uncovering our values when it comes to money and exploring who we are as individuals in this world through the tales of those before us. So do not underestimate the power of stories from mom, grandma, or even great-grandma. These tales or stories are more than just words. They are often weaved together snippets and lessons that can be instrumental in helping us develop our financial wellness. Think about it for a moment. Passed down through generations, women have been sharing their knowledge to help guide us forward on life journey, an invaluable resource for sure. And as a financial wellness strategist, I will say that understanding the power of our family's financial stories is key to taking charge of our futures. And most importantly, women's stories can affect not only our finances, but also our values and way of life. So today, I will be taking an exciting look into where intergenerational wisdom intersects with financial wellness and female empowerment. And I will explore how these powerful elements combine so that together we can create a brighter tomorrow for ourselves and generations beyond. And that takes me to the first point of today's show, the power of women's oral histories. First, let us understand the role of women oral history. Our understanding of history often revolves around written records and official documents. But long before this, oral storytelling was a vital means to transfer knowledge, value, and tradition throughout the ages, with women often playing a key role in keeping cultures alive by passing down stories from one generation to another. Not only did they educate children about their culture's heritage, but many societies also relied on these female storytellers for preserving essential information such as medicine or agriculture. For example, in many African cultures, maternal wisdom was integral to the preservation and sharing of valuable knowledge. Women were often keepers of information regarding agriculture and herbal medicine. They knew which plants held medicinal properties and how to prepare them effectively. All the lessons learned from being a mother were passed down from mother to daughter. And such passing down honored their cultural tradition while further empowering women in society as powerful pillars who safeguarded history. Also, women have long been the keepers of oral history, taking on a central role in educating and caring for both children and elders. This enabled them to pass down stories that would otherwise disappear with time, thus preserving our cultural heritage while giving us valuable insight into how our ancestors managed their finances. For example, in many Native American cultures, it was a woman's job to tell stories and traditions that described not only where they came from, but also how they were part of the world. These stories were full of tips on how to live in a sustainable way, like how to hunt or fish in a way that doesn't hurt the environment, and how to save water during times of dry spells. This important knowledge from the past have been passed down from generation to generation. Simply put, without women's commitment to passing down these stories from one generation to the next, we would not be able to learn about financial wisdom and draw upon such knowledge today. Now, I would like to talk about how valuable and important women's stories are for financial wellness. Women's stories hold immense value when it comes to financial wellness. They are like beacon of light, showing us how our ancestors handle money, and coped with hardships, guiding us in making better financial decisions today. We can learn a lot from the words of wisdom that have been passed down from generation to generation, such as how to save money during long recessions or how to invest wisely in real estate or any other type of assets, actually. These words show us how to build wealth without making the same mistakes as those who came before us. For instance, the Great Depression was a tough time for many people, but it also presented some valuable information, opportunity to learn. Women of the time came up with creative ways to make ends meet, like bartering goods and services or learning how to fix their own clothes, which are lessons we still use today. So, taking these stories from our past can help us shape our financial literacy in the present. Also, women's stories have a powerful effect on how we perceive and manage our finances. From stories of bravery in the face of trouble to examples of how money can be used for good, these stories can be a great source of inspiration for people who are struggling with money today. Women around the world have taught us a valuable lesson in financial resilience, demonstrating that even with limited resources, they can push through periods of economic hardship. Many women in developing countries are very good at this skill because it is often their job to take care of the family's money, finances, and make sure it goes further than anyone thought it could. So, through listening to these stories and understanding what we can learn from them, each one of us can create strategies on how best to use our own money now and prepare adequately for tomorrow. So, these women's stories help us find strength within ourselves while also connecting us with deeper values like family or philanthropy, reminding us that there is always meaning behind our financial choices. This leads me to the second point, the connection between intergenerational wisdom and financial wellness. Our finances don't exist in a vacuum, okay? The decisions we make today are informed by generation before us. Intergenerational wisdom gives us a great foundation for our financial health, one that can help us be successful now and tomorrow. It gives us valuable lessons, important skills, and important values. So, intergenerational wisdom is a powerful tool for fostering financial wellness. It can give us the much needed perspective to understand that problems we face today are not necessarily unique and allow us to learn from our ancestors' experience, thus avoiding costly mistakes. It also gives us a sense of purpose when we understand how our family history has shaped our values and priorities. This helps us make decisions about money that are in line with what's most important to us. Therefore, by honoring the wisdom of our ancestors and learning from their stories, we can benefit greatly in terms of financial wellness. With this knowledge comes an understanding of both past mistakes to avoid and successes worth repeating, enabling us to establish stronger relationship with family members, form a greater sense of community unity, foster healthier lifestyles, and ultimately generate comprehensive financial security for generations moving forward. Now, I would like to take a look at how generational wisdom is helping people financially. From grandparents to parents and now us, intergenerational wisdom has been passed along for generations. It is an essential source of knowledge when it comes to money. After all, how we manage our finances today will shape our future. So let's look at some of the great ways this kind of financial advice has helped people in the past. Passing down financial skills from budgeting and saving to investing with thought, teaching our youth financial acumen early in life, give them a strong foundation for success, giving them heaps of opportunities for healthy habits that will last throughout their lives. 2, learning from the mistake of previous generations. Our ancestors may have made mistakes with their money, but that doesn't mean that we have to do the same, right? For example, we can use what we've learned from them and make sure that credit card debt doesn't become an issue for us. Likewise, by saving wisely now for retirement, we can make sure we have a comfortable future and will not look back and say, if only I had. 3, gaining a sense of financial perspective. From our ancestors, we can draw invaluable lessons about financial resilience. So by learning how they dealt with job loss and tough economic times in the past, we can use this information to deal with our own problems in a creative and determined way. 4, learning from cultural traditions. Learning about money from different cultures is a great way to find the best way to manage our money in a way that fits our values and needs. No matter what we value most in life, saving money, helping others, or something else, we could learn a lot from how people in other parts of the world have traditionally handled money. Now, let's look at some practical ways that intergenerational wisdom can improve your financial health, as they can be very powerful. 1, learning from family tradition. For example, growing up, one person learned the value of saving and investing for a bright future. So by carrying that lesson throughout her life, she was able to lay down an impressive financial foundation, not only setting her up for success in later years, but helping her provide stability and security for her family as well. 2, avoiding the mistakes of the past. A second example. Growing up, another person saw the challenges her parents faced due to credit card debt. So she decided to take matters into her own hands and be proactive about avoiding that same trap. By using credit wisely and paying off every balance in full each month, she ensured a brighter financial future. 3, gaining perspective during tough times. And a third example, with her grandparents as shining example of resilience and resourcefulness, a third person was able to gain valuable perspective on how to cope with financial difficulties. This newfound understanding enabled her to navigate life's challenges with poise, just like her Great Depression era ancestors. I will end this point by saying that telling stories about how our ancestors and family members handled money can be a powerful way to understand how intergenerational wisdom affects our ability to be financially healthy in the long run. We have so much insight available at our fingertips, from avoiding common money missteps, gaining perspective about investment, or even strengthening ties with people we love. The lesson that those who came before us have taught us gives us the power to build a strong financial future, not only for ourselves, but also for future generations. Now, the third and final point for today's show: understanding ourselves and charting a course for the future. Money is a reflection of who we are, as our priorities and values manifest in the financial decision we make every day. From saving for retirement to investing in stock, what you do with your money speaks volume about yourself as an individual. Being aware of how identity and values shape these choices can help us create more empowered strategies that reflect what matters most to us. For instance, if sustainability is important to you, right? Think twice before putting all your cash into oil investments. Instead, focus on clean energy alternatives where possible. Likewise, if giving back to community initiatives aligns with your core beliefs, consider setting aside time or resources throughout each month toward those causes, as it could end up being one of the best long-term investments you ever made out there. Another fact is that money can mean so many different things depending on our cultural background, from community support and mutual aid to individual accumulation of wealth. Each culture has its unique way of approaching finances. Also, understanding the values we have inherited from our backgrounds helps us gain clarity into what is important when money is involved in all aspects of life. And our values are powerful guiding forces that shape our financial decisions. Additionally, when we take them into account, investing can become more than just a way to make money, because it has a potential to show us what is most important to us. So, by intentionally weaving our individual value system into how and why we invest, taking charge of our finances feels even more meaningful with each decision we make. Moreover, wherever you are in life, it is important to make financial decisions that match our current circumstances and goals. For example, if you are just getting started on your career journey, consider how best to set money aside for the future. Now, if retirement is looming closer than ever before, think about what steps need to be taken now so you can enjoy comfortable later years. No matter where we are at, young or old, making informed choices with finances will help us reach whatever milestone await ahead. Our unique objectives have an incredible influence on how, I would say, on financial choices. We might be putting money away for down payment on a dream home, or putting money away for selling debt, or investing in what's to come. Each goal is sure to lead us to better ways to handle our money. So, with clear-cut pursuits that are achievable, we can stay encouraged while managing our finances successfully. Now that we know ourselves and have looked into the power of intergenerational wisdom and women's oral histories for financial wellness, it is time to take action and plan for a better financial future. Everyone's financial journey is unique and full of lessons. Looking back on these traits and beliefs and identity markers and experiences that have shaped your relationship with money can be a great starting point to gaining control of your finances going forward. So taking the time to talk to your grandparents or parents about money can help you avoid making the same mistakes they did. Yes, financial conversations are not always easy, but this could help us start on our path to prosperity with more knowledge. Also, sharing your money story can inspire and help others. Whether you use social media, a blog post, or appear at an event, there is no better way than being open about it. Also, learn as much as you can about budgeting, investing, and dealing with debt so you can make smart decisions about how to handle your money. Trust me on that one. Getting guidance these days is made easier as there are now heaps of free resources out there, like podcasts, blogs, books, etc. So tell me, are you ready to make a change? Now that you have the knowledge and wisdom you need, you must take action. Start small, but think big. Okay, create a budget that works for you. Start paying down debt gradually. Over time, it can add up significantly. And save something each month, no matter how little. All of these efforts combined will help set yourself up with financial freedom. Additionally, we can help future generations learn from our success by passing on the wisdom of past generations and the oral histories of women. I will end this point and say that it takes a lot of courage, a lot of determination, and a lot of hard work to create positive change, especially when it comes to finances. And we also know that by leveraging the wisdom on generations before us, sharing our own stories and taking practical steps forward, together it is possible to build something better for ourselves as well as for future generations. So let's wrap it up. And let me recap some of the key points. I talked about women's spoken histories, and I focused on the power of women's oral histories. I looked at the connection between intergenerational wisdom and financial wellness. And I looked at the fact that understanding ourselves now, we can charter a course for the future. So, in summary, I will say that women's stories provide an invaluable lens into our past and a guide to the future. By understanding what wisdom has been passed down, we have valuable insight into how best to manage our finances to create brighter financial futures for ourselves, both personally and culturally. Our identity, our values, and our beliefs shape not only who we are, but also empower us financially as they inform our decision-making processes when it comes time to take action. So creating budgets, paying off debt strategically, or investing all contributes toward charting a course that ensures sustained prosperity over generations. And as I see it, when it comes to charting our course for a brighter future, I should say a brighter financial future, there is no better way than by tapping into intergenerational wisdom and women's oral histories. By uniting practical steps with our values and identity, we can make more meaningful choices that create joy in ourselves as well as those around us. Financial wellness is not only about numbers, remember, it's also about an exploration of self-discovery. Embracing the stories passed down through the ages allows us to envision a prosperous legacy, not just for now, but for generation ahead. And my last thought for today. Step back to look towards the future. Take time to unlock your intergenerational wisdom. By exploring your family history and stories, you can gain valuable insight into yourself, who you are, what values drive you, and gives important clue as to how best to set financial goals that work for your life. Once clear on those objectives, it is up to you to make them happen. Above all, remember that your stories are more powerful than you realize. Your experiences can create an interconnected community that empowers and inspires each other. Use these tales and stories to forge a brighter financial future for yourself and generations to come. So don't be afraid to share your stories with the world today. This is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to continuing this conversation with you. And as you know, I like to end my show with inspiring words. And I found this quote by an unknown author, and it reads, "The stories and wisdom of our elders provide us with a roadmap for navigating the challenges of life and for finding meaning and purpose in our journey." This brings us to the end of today's Merging Life and Money episode. It's been a pleasure to share my thoughts and experiences with you, and I hope that you found this episode informative and inspiring. So make sure to watch the replay to gain some more wisdom and share it with others. So don't miss out on this weekly dose of motivation as I help empower you to take control of your finances from the inside out and create a purposeful life with the money you have. So join me next week, Thursday, for part 3 at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Mountain time, 9 p.m. Central time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 11 p.m. Atlantic time, and noon Friday, Brisbane, Australia time. Thank you for being here today on the Merging Life and Money Show. I am your host, Marie-Jo César. I will be back again next week. Until then, continue merging life and money. Bye for now.